Hey everybody, welcome back to the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. So today, right quick, I want to share something that on the top of my head that I just want to share with you right now and not make such a huge thing about it, but let's look at this. Meghan Markle dons cryptic rectify hat, admit family feud. Now remember back when Meghan was in the United States at this baby shower thing and she was like making a big production Broadway show in New York that she's super important. Like she's coming into town and the whole country should flock to New York and tip it over. Well, this is back then. And it kind of dawned on me when I was doing my research that she was wearing this rectify hat. Rectify. Rectify. Well, let's go look up rectify, shall we? Let's go look up rectify. Let me go back one. So rectify. Oh, and before I get started, you all know that the description info is in the disclaimer is in the description box below. So go check that out. But honestly, I'm sharing my opinion and my thoughts on Meghan Markle in terms of her tenure in the British royal family, her bleep, her spot in history, her light blaring for 1 second and she was out. This channel is going to revolve and does revolve around the things that we discover as time goes on about Meghan Markle. Right now she's in the United States. It's May 2020 and we're just getting back from the pandemic and quarantine life, and some of you are still in quarantine, some of us are coming out of quarantine, but I'm so glad you're here with me. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I am now on DROPspace, so I will put that link down below as well. So, rectify. Let me share my opinions and thoughts on Miss Meghan Markle in this video by starting with rectify, which is the word that was on the hat in the photo I just showed you. Rectify is an American television drama series exploring the life of a man after he is released from prison nearly 20 years on death row following a wrongful conviction. It was created by Ray McKinnon and is the first original series from Sundance TV. Now, when we look at this photo, we see Meghan, and she clearly wants us to see this very dirty hat. But okay, whatever. It's like someone gave her that hat because her weave or her extensions were a little bit off or loose, and she might be going to get them fixed in the infamous black outfit that looks a little speckled with some dandruff or whatever. But we see here that it says rectify, and I took you over to look at rectify first as the movie. And when we see rectify here, Sundance Channel's first wholly owned scripted series stars Aidan Young as Daniel Holden, who spends nearly 20 years on death row for the rape and murder of a teenage girl before new DNA evidence nullifies his conviction. He returns home, but he's far from welcomed. He's an outsider now in the town that remains divided by his alleged crime, and contributing to an uncertain future is the man who prosecuted him, riding that notoriety to become a state senator, is plotting to reopen the case. As he struggles to adapt, Daniel is confronted by support from his younger sister, Amantha, who has always believed in his innocence and has worked her entire adult life to secure his release. Not so for Ted Jr., Daniel's stepbrother, with whom he has no relationship. Sound familiar? No relationship Meghan has with her sister at this point, or for that matter, with her father. Insecure and manipulative, Ted is skeptical of Daniel's motives and will do anything to protect his family. So, what can we surmise from this little tiny bit of information? by a hat that Meghan chose to wear? Well, first we want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So I'm going to say this to you. Most of us understand that Meghan Markle and most people who want fame so much, they're driven by notoriety. So let's look at it. Do you think Meghan wore this hat by accident? Do you really believe Meghan wore this hat by in an innocent way, by accident? Do you think that she made her outfit all black and wearing the beige trench coat or beige coat and put the hat on, rectified, and made sure she kept her face downward, looking down at the ground so that we could see the word clearly? Do you think that was an accident or intentional? So when we look up rectify, we see that it so happens that Abigail Spencer is also in this movie. Now, there's a couple of things that we can look at is that it's a Sundance movie, and more importantly, we can look at the write-up, who spends nearly 20 years on death row for the rape of a teenage girl before DNA evidence nullifies his conviction. Now, we do know a lot of things are going on with Prince Andrew and such on and so forth. We also know that there's a lot of things that go on in Hollywood, period, with celebrities and with some we don't even know. We see that it says here in the movie write-up, he returns home. Could that be construed as she returns home, but is far from welcomed? That could be something that we can understand. He's now an outsider in a town that remains divided by his alleged crime and contributing to uncertain future. So we could think of this kind of in this write-up as words about Meghan. But when we look down here and we click on Abigail Spencer, we realize, well, Abigail Spencer is Meghan's friend. And here you can see Abigail Spencer looks a lot like Meghan Markle. Or does Meghan Markle look like Abigail Spencer? Because when we look at Suits, we also can see that Abigail Spencer was in fact her co-star to Meghan Markle in Suits. And it's got a 90% in Rotten Tomatoes, 8.5. So apparently the dumb people in the world really love Suits. And I think it was all that sex, because sex sells. So we don't really think that she was an awesome star, but we think that Meghan actually may have been more of a star because of the sexual content in terms of that show. Sex sells. But back to this whole photo. Rectify. Now, this particular article infers that Meghan's cryptic rectify hat was because of the feud with Kate Middleton. But was it? But was it? Sometimes you have to allow your mind to open a little bit more. And also, I think this was when Meghan was also toting around that, mummy jewelry that she helped sell and make that designer more than wealthy, I guess, as a favor. But I wanted to point out to you real quick that this was something that was so tiny and such a small thing to show, but does it have an additional meaning? Maybe it has to do with other things that we know nothing of as right now, but we will know in the near future. Rectify. What does the definition oops, rectify mean? Let's see what Google gives us for the definition of rectify. You hear my and my air conditioning system coming on. Let's see. Definition of rectify. It's to set right, remedy, to purify, especially by repeated or fractional discrimination, rectified, to correct or removing errors. Okay, so let's look what rectify means right quick. So we're all clear, we're all on the same page of what I'm thinking about. This little photo here that we just think Meghan just threw a dirty old hat, even though it looks pretty dirty, it still says rectify. So let's see what the message is. What could be the message? Something's going to be rectified. So my computer is still spinning. Rectify. To make, put, or set right. Remedy or correct. So is that what Meghan wants to tell the world at that time? That at that point last year, in February 2019, she was getting ready and had all plans to rectify something. And we also see that rectify is a movie that it so happens her very good friend and co-actor, Abigail Spencer from Suits, was in that movie. That series, which was on from 2013 to 2016. All right, people, I'll be back, and we'll continue this little topic in the next video. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, comment. I'm coming back at you with more. I want to show in small bites. That means small uploads, how these people are all interconnected and who's a handler and who's a true friend and who is just Hollywood PR. I'll be back. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.